Good morning, everyone. It is 5:45 a.m. on the date that we call the 7th. So it's the month that we call January. It's the day that we call Wednesday. It's the date that we call the 2nd in the year that we call 2026. I hope everyone's having a great morning. It's snowing here right now, which is nice, but we were having a lot of cold weather, very, very cold. We were in like a deep freeze, and it warmed up yesterday. So now it's like 20 degrees, and that's like super warm compared to what we were having because we were in the minus. So yeah, that's really warm for us this time of year. So it's technically, I guess, we're coming into our January thaw. And so they're saying that we're going to get a bunch of rain. So I'm not impressed with that. I don't want rain. I hate rain in the winter. It makes everything icy. It ruins the snow because, you're walking through slush, and then inevitably afterwards we end up having like a deep freeze. So you just have all of this bumpy like ice that's frozen, and it makes the driveway a skating rink. It's just horrible. I hate it. So I'm hoping, they're saying this is going to change over to rain. It's snowing right now. I don't think you guys can see it. If I move you this way, you might be able to see it because of the porch light. But I doubt it because the camera just has a hard time picking that kind of stuff up. But I'm not impressed, and I don't want it to turn to rain. And so I'm praying and projecting that it doesn't. But I know a lot of people in Maine don't like the snow for whatever reason. They're old humbugs, that's what they are. And they're probably praying for rain. And then there's those few of us that really like the snow, think it's pretty. And then the people that have the toys, they really like it. They go out snowmobiling and stuff, so they want the snow. I mean, if you're going to live in a state that has all seasons, embrace the season. I think probably my least favorite season is spring. And it's not that I don't enjoy seeing the butterflies show up and the dragonflies and seeing the flowers sprout up and seeing everything turn green. I just don't enjoy the mud, and I don't enjoy the black flies that come with it. And so that's probably why it's my least favorite season. But the snowflakes are really big right now. Some of them are really big, and that's because, it's warm. I'll take you down and see if I can show them to you. Just because I like them. Let me turn you around so that I can see. Okay. Some of them are really big. It's pretty. I like it. It's very pretty. I love watching the snow come down. It's one of my favorite things in the winter. I just love it. So yeah, right now it's really pretty. It's like 20 degrees and it's snowing big. A lot of big flakes are coming down with it. And, that's sometimes we have a storm that just stays the big, pretty flakes. But a lot of the times that means it's getting ready to switch over to something. So I'm really hoping that it doesn't switch over. I really love the snow. I think it's so pretty. Yeah, I just think that's so pretty, you guys. I also love the darkness. I've really embraced the dark of the season. I love sitting in dim lighting and just gradually seeing the light of the day come through. But, that's me. Not everybody loves it. I do, though. And this is Lukey Duke. If I've got you on this way, I might as well bring you over. Say good morning, baby. Say good morning. He just came in from doing zoomies outside. And he had himself a treat, and now it looks like he's getting ready to go back to sleep. He is not a morning dog. Not even a little bit, you guys. He's funny. All right, so let's get you back over to the tripod. Let me turn you back around. Let's see if I can here. Why can't I find it? Let's see. Did I get it? I did. All right. Okay, good morning. I hope everybody's having a great morning. We'll see if I get you set up okay here in a minute. It's pretty dark. I'm not slow to roll this morning, so it is dark. I'm wondering if there's a way I could... I don't think so. I think even when I turn on every lamp in the room down here, that it's still, because I don't have an overhead, it still illuminates dark down here. All right, so let me get a sip of my drink here. Oh, wow. It's really, all of them are big now. I'm going to turn you towards the window. You probably can't. All of them are big right now, so you might be able to see it from this distance. It's just really pretty watching this come down this morning. I'm thrilled. I love it. I love it. I don't see how people can't see the beauty in this. It's just so amazingly beautiful, you guys. And it makes me feel all, I don't know. I love it. I do worry about people driving in it. But, you know, when you live in Maine, you know how to drive in the snow. And most people have decent tires on their vehicles, and a lot of people have all-wheel drive or four-wheel drive. And if you don't, you need to go slow. And if you don't know that, I don't know, you're either not from here or you're just reckless. But it's really pretty. Just beautiful. Beautiful. I always said, you know, if it could just snow every weekend when most people aren't having to travel to work. But, you know, there's no way that we can avoid it because people work different shifts and different schedules all week long. All the people that work retail work weekends, so there's no way to avoid it. You just got to be really careful out there driving. And hang back from other people in case they're being ridiculous. That's what it's all about. Okay, so here we are. It's the 7th of January already. I just can't even believe how quickly the time goes, you guys. It's just always moving so fast. So let's start shuffling these cards. I was tired all day yesterday from sleeping, what was it, 2 hours later than I usually do? It's so funny. Like I said, if I go to bed early and get an extra 2 hours sleep or whatever, 2 hours in my bed, because I don't really sleep much. I'm awake a lot in the night. I don't feel that way when I get up. But if I sleep later in the morning than what I'm used to getting up, I feel really dungy. All right, so what we're going to do this morning, let's see, yesterday we looked at Maduro and the stuff that might be taking place via that. The day before we looked at taxes, I believe. And so, today, let's just get a card and see what the universe wants to say about all of this faux display of things happening on the world stage, what they're displaying to everybody. Let's just get one card from the universe. And see what they would describe it as. With one card, what would they describe it as? And so obviously the healing intentions are always set for you folks. So if you so choose, go ahead, breathe that in and decree that for your highest and greatest good, only and always. And then it's not a problem on YouTube, and I haven't used Rumble in forever because it won't upload. But I say it anyway, just in case. It's good to be in the habit of reminding myself and others. If you see links or emails in the comment section soliciting you for things, or if you see a link or an email and it's supposedly me or someone else that you might know or don't know, don't follow it. You know, don't follow anything that's soliciting you for anything, because that's just scammers. So, yeah, always be diligent. So with one card, please and thank you. From that higher perspective, and I mean that higher perspective, from like, you know, that 12th dimension and our creator. With one card, how would you describe for us, for our insight, the events that are playing out for people to see and know about and hear about here on the earth plane, on the world stage? So please and thank you with one card. So let's glean some insight, please and thank you, from that much higher perspective. Oh, let me see. Darn it. You know what? I am going to go turn on the other light and see if that helps. So hold on, you guys. I'm going to pause you so you don't have to wait around. Hold on. Okay, so I turned on the light over by the couch. My word. Well, this is the 9 of Rods in the Deviant Moon deck. And with the 9 of Rods, there's all this stuff that's ended in the background. So it's just done. It's all finished. And that stuff in the background is keeping people in the doldrums. I wish you could see it. So he's kind of sitting there. If you remember, this is the Deviant Moon deck. So he's kind of sitting there, and there's a staircase behind him, and it's all rods. And rods are things within your physical life, right? So all of the rods that go up that staircase are dead. There's no life in them. So they've been stripped of their bark, and, you know, they're just dead, dried out sticks. And this is a 9, right? So that cycle ended. And it's upsetting to people. They're down in the dumps. And so people are depressed and down in the dumps, thinking about the endings, all that's behind them. They're thinking of all that's behind them. And because they're thinking about all that's behind them, they're not lifting their heads. And They're not looking at what's right beside them. So what's right beside them, I wish that you guys could see this. There's this beautiful rod, and it's draped in greenery. Its bark is alive, and there's all of these beautiful green leaves coming up it, and it's bloomed with a spark of passion. It's a flame that's coming off of this. And so what they're telling us with this card, how they would describe what's going on the world stage, they're telling us that all of that stuff is behind us. Those cycles already ended. So they're letting us know that these things that are being presented to us today already happened in the background, okay? And it is affecting people. So a lot of people are upset or they're depressed. We've also seen anger and fear, right? But it's a distraction, really, because with the emotions that all of this is triggering, stuff that's already happened in the background, people are really into their emotions too much to see what is going on right beside them here. And so, and I mean, it's literally right beside us. So what you're being presented with, what we're being presented with, what the world is being presented with right now is not only stuff that's already taken place and being shown to us now, it literally is designed to keep people distracted from something that is actually happening, vibrantly and passionately happening right now. Because it's whatever is happening right now is very much alive and vibrant and passionate with that flame. But people are too emotionally triggered by this dead stuff that happened in the background, because it's all dead. It's all dead. It's already done. It's already finished. Its life cycle is complete. Like, it's in the background. And there's something very, very much alive right here beside us, but we're not seeing it right now. And it's very much meant to distract people. So we're living through more distractions. And, you know, those distractions, I just want to say, those distractions aren't meant for us. And we check into this for fun and for insight and just clarity of what we intuitively feel or know, to see if we can get any hits that might give us more clarity or whatever, and to delve in and see what's really going on, right? So now that we know that all of this stuff that you're seeing right now, which all of us probably already know it's a distraction, because that's how it always works. We know that there's something new that's actually happening, right? Something new, something bloomed, something healthy, something passionate, something full of vitality with this flame and all of this greenery. And it's already grounded in because it has all of this greenery. So let's now ask you guys what it is that we're being distracted from, that we're not seeing because they don't want to show it to us yet, that is happening right now in the moment, that we haven't been shown, but is very much alive and real. Because we're not part of the group that sees, because we're not part of the group that's changing things in that way. I'm just messing with the camera a little bit. See if I can give you a better view. Maybe that'll be pretty good, you guys. All right, so as I say, give you a better view, and you can't see the cards anyway. But I'm trying. I'm doing my best, right? All right, so let me get another sip of my chicory. And let's shuffle these cards up, because what we want to know, please and thank you, is a true story, the truth about what is actually happening. So we know the stuff that we're being shown on the world stage is already happened, dead, done, finished, complete. That cycle ended. We're hearing about it now to keep us sidetracked so that we don't see what's right beside us. That's actually taking place in this moment. So let's please and thank you. Go ahead and give us a card that would best depict what is actually happening. And then once I draw that card, I'll shuffle some more. And I will then do a 7-card spread to get a complete story. And I feel like we've shuffled these pretty good. I'll do one more, and then we'll cut them. And get them cut. So let's get one card here that's going to describe, okay, so the devil. So what is happening right now in this very moment? Can you see? Barely, but I think that you can see. That's a higher arcana card. And that's the devil. So that's tricky, 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 tricky. So there's some tricky business that's coming to life right now. But let's also just remember that the devil is all about earthly pleasures. And this is big picture, higher arcana. So let's get the rest of that story with that 7-card spread so that we can make even more sense out of this devil card, right? All right, so let's shuffle some more. So that's the beginning of the tale that we're about to be told. So let's see what the rest of the story that goes with that is. Please and thank you. Should be interesting. It's happening right now. And we just don't know about it. One more, and we're going to cut them. And I'll arrange the thing if I need to once I get these laid. Okay, you guys. Lies and life. Interesting. Can't see it. Misuse of, transformation. Star. High integrity. All right, so they have quite a story. This is going to take a bit more than a 7-card spread, I can already tell. This is like the beginning. They're starting the babble, right? It's not a full story yet. Okay. So while I read this to you, just let me put the selenite on that deck. All right. So let's just recap. So there's everything you're being shown right now has already been done. It's in the background. It's a distraction for people so they can't see what's happening right now. And then we start the story. The overall energy of the story is the devil. And then the overall energy of the biggest pathway is people not being able to see with that 8 of Cups. So with the 8 of Cups, she's she's got the cups behind her. They're not set up correctly, and they don't feel right, and she doesn't want to look. So she's kind of going, I'm not going to look at this, but her crown's lighting up. So the interesting thing with that, as we say, people are down in the doldrums and they're not seeing, they're being distracted. They're being distracted from what's really happening right beside them. And then we have the card that is the biggest card, biggest energy that drives the entire pathway and drives the story, is not looking at things. So don't look at things that don't feel good. Allow the intuition to wake up. If we look at the stories and the narratives, they're not going to fit, right? Because with these cups, if you actually turned around and looked, so the narratives and the stories that already happened that are being used as a distraction, if we look closely enough, we're going to see that the stories don't fit. If we really listen and look with discernment, with eyes to see, ears to hear, we're going to see that the stories don't line up. They don't fit. It doesn't fit. So use your intuition. Don't get caught up in what they're doing to the normies, okay? And what this is actually doing, because it doesn't fit, because things really don't fit, apparently blatantly so, with this Eight of Cups, this is actually sparking an intuitive knowing in other people. So even if they're down and they're being distracted by it, there is this knowing that's happening with people that they're like, wait a minute, this doesn't make sense. This doesn't fit. And that's a good thing, because the overall energy that's blanketing everything is tricks. And the trickiness would be the fact that things have actually happened on the earth plane in the background, already done, and you don't know it because you're not told. We don't know it. None of us do. And the trickiness would be that as they keep us looking at whatever they've decided they'll actually share with us in the moment, it stops us from feeling our intuitiveness about what's happening right now. Truly happening right now. Now listen, these tricks that are happening on the earth plane, because the devil is all about the earth, right? The story starts out, they're not, the lies, there's lies. So they're mixing lies with this Queen of Swords. And you know it's a lie. It's a tipped sword and it has blood on it, okay? They're mixing lies with the truth. And that is a big piece of the trick. And so we do have to go back to this 8 here and use our intuition. Her head, her hair. The natives always consider your hair your psychic energy, right? That's your intuitive knowing, you guys. So we have to go back to this 8 and we have to allow our intuition to guide us, because there are a lot of lies mixed in with truth. So what I would say, the truth is, these things did happen. The lie is they didn't happen when you were presented them as happening, right? So use your discernment, use your intuitive knowing, but they do want us to know above the lies with the truth and the tricks that we're undergoing here on the earth plane. It's being done with integrity. This is our King of Swords, and the King of Swords has integrity. So there's integrity in this misleading. There's this integrity in the tricking of. And for those of us that are waking up or have woken up, whether we've woken up yet to the real goings on of the world, which some people haven't, but their intuition is waking up, And so their intuition, as that wakes up, will lead them to see that things aren't right. They don't make sense. They don't add up. They're not set up right to make sense. So I would say the things that they're showing, and I haven't been tuning into a lot of stuff, you guys, because I just don't, because I don't really worry about it, and I'm really concerned with my family and my home and my animals, and I try to stay knowledgeable to a certain degree so that I know what's going on the world stage. But at the end of the day, I know that my energy, my happiness, the healing work that I'm doing, the healing work that I send into the earth, and my intentions and things like this matter more to me. The work that I do, and you know what I'm saying, matter more to me and keep my energy good, because I've already been down so many rabbit holes, and I hold so much in my consciousness already. I think I don't need to be stuck right in it all the time. So I think when you're stuck right in it all the time, it does this to you. It does what this guy is right here. It brings you down. Even if you're awakened to, you hold the knowledge of the things that we think we know, and you're awakened to all of this. If you stay right stuck in it, I think it just brings us down. It brings our vibrations down. Our mood definitely comes down. And then we start lying to ourselves, right? And blackpilling ourselves and saying, oh, this is never going to end. And oh, this is so bad. And oh, I can't stand it. And really we can. Because the truth is, it's all outside of ourselves. Happiness comes from within. So, and I have people on the channel that have been awake their whole lives, and they're in their 80s. So yeah, we can stand it, because we've been standing it this whole time. But it will screw with your vibration. And it's really important, I believe, for our vibrations to be up. So educate, don't inundate. Take a look with eyes to see, listen with ears to hear, discern, take it in, use our intuition, and move about the day, being happy and productive, and creating a sacred space within our own world. And then our vibrations actually, if we keep ourselves in those places of joy, love, and higher frequencies, and keep filling ourselves with light, we're actually beneficial to everything and everyone around us. So I think that's more important. But that's what happens, is people come down. It brings you down. So all of this news really isn't for us. It's just how they play things out for people that haven't yet come to wake yet. And these things will be playing out in a way that will wake them up. Okay? So it's all being done with integrity anyway, you guys, with that King of Swords. So across from the Queen of Swords, and we're saying what's actually blooming right now, we're being distracted, we're having these tricks, but it's being done with integrity. If we look closer and tap into our intuition, we're going to see it doesn't make sense. So you can, probably a 5-year-old could put the puzzle together and say, this doesn't make sense. It seems as though they're making it more and more obvious and more blatant. It's just so obvious now that this doesn't make sense, right? So across from that, we have a 3. So celebrations. So what's happening here on the earth plane for real, what's really actually happening with this bloomed, passionate rod that's right beside us that we don't know? Well, we have this 3 of rods. And with the 3 of rods in the Deviant Moon deck, there's this pregnant woman with the umbilical cord, right? And she's under the full moon. So her intuition, her gifts, her psychic gifts, her godly gifts are all lit up. And she's under the full moon, And at night, in the darkness, in the stillness, we know the most, right? Because the chatter of the day and the interruptions of the day are pretty much quieted. So it makes it really easy. The veil becomes very thin and it's very easy. Also, there's usually more moisture in the air, which works as a conductor, but it makes it really easy to tune in and tap in. So she's in the night. She's in the night. That full moon is blowing down on her. So she's fully engaged in her intuition. She's focused on her feminine energy. So something's being created. She's pregnant. She's about to birth something. Through this birthing in this umbilical cord, she has 3 beautiful rods that are right beside her. And so she's growing them because they're like a rose before it blooms, right? And they are flowers, not flames. So they're like a rose. They're budded, big buds. They're coming up, big, beautiful buds. Her rods are all green, and the leaves are just starting to spread out from it. You know how when the flower comes up, the leaves are kind of tucked around the stem. In this they're just starting to come out from it, just like the flower is turned into this really large bud. And her umbilical cord, her own energy, her own being, is very much nurturing her physical journey. And it's three rods that she's nurturing. So she's nurturing joy. So that's that joy vibration. So something right now is being nurtured on the earth plane. So let's consider it like the baby's not born yet, because the baby hasn't come out, hasn't popped out yet. But the baby's very much alive and exists, okay? So right now, the thing that's going on that we don't know is there's this baby. Let's use it like this, okay? There's this baby, and it's very much alive. And this baby is very much going to nurture the physical journey of people here on the earth plane, okay? And so the baby right now is still being fed. So look at it in ways of it's still being maybe updated, still having work put into it. There's some last pieces of the puzzle that need to go into it, but the baby is being fed, you guys. And this baby is going to very much nurture the physical aspects of people's lives with these rods. And it will be a very joyful thing. And it's nearly there because the blooms are huge. And once the bud gets so big, then it starts to open, right? So, and it's nearly there because the pretty little leaves have unwound from the stem and they're already coming out. So we're nearly to something that's being set up that has a lot of life in it and will be very passionate for people. And it's gonna bring joy, and it's gonna bring health. Like, this is a healthy journey, a nurtured journey, a better journey, a very much alive and beautiful journey is the only way that I can explain it. And then above that, you have the Knight of Cups. And the Knight of Cups is, again, we're going back to a feeling. So, and a knight is a warrior, which takes us back to the passion of this rod up here that is in full life and full bloom, but it's a bloom of fire, right? Passion, vitality. So when you take the 3, which is joy, and how beautiful and healthy this is going to be, and then you put above it that knight, which is emotion, and you've got that joy, and you add that passion, I mean, this is going to add vitality to people's lives, all right? But right now, you're being distracted with things of the past. They're giving you truths, but they're lying about when it happened, and they're not doing it to be bad. There's integrity in it, but it's all very tricky, and we could see if we looked that these stories don't add up. They're blatantly so. Our intuition probably already knows that, and people like you and I don't really need to look because we already know, but it's going to wake up other people's intuition. And then right above our 8 here, we have the star. So we have 17. That's my white hat, good military alliance. For me, when I learned about the secret societies, I learned about the good secret societies on behalf of that are working on behalf of humanity, as well as the bad secret societies that are working against humanity, right? So for me, since I was in my 20s, I always would have considered this, and the words that I would have used would be the secret society that's working on humanity's behalf. And since in the span of the last 5 or 6 years, we've been using the term white hat pretty regularly, but and good military, right? Because we have the soldiers, the fighters that are the boots on the ground guys doing these things for us. So they're really our soldiers. So anyway, we've got that star right there. And the star walks between worlds, right? And transforms things, creates miracles. That's 17, right? So right in the middle of all of this, we have our good guys. Let's just say the good guys that have been working on behalf of humanity. And they're bringing in higher frequencies. They're walking between the worlds, and they're bringing in higher frequencies, and they're creating miracles, let's just say, right? And so let me get more chicory. So when we take this star that sits right in the middle of all of this and we go up diagonally to it, we have the King of Swords. So the good guys are the guys with the integrity. The good guys are the guys with the integrity that are putting out truths mixed in with lies. They're the ones doing it. It's these guys that are doing this, creating this show. It's these guys that are blatantly, because if you look with this 8, the 8 is like, you can clearly see there's stuff that's not working. So if you look with this 8, it's obvious they're the ones blatantly tricking everybody, while passionately, very passionately, because this Knight of Cups comes diagonally up from 17, while they're passionately growing and expanding and doing something that will be better for humanity. And right above the star, we have the 3 of Cups. So we have 2 3s in this. So rejoice, 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 right? Right above them, it's the 3 of Cups. And so what are they transforming? What are they transforming? Well, they're right above intuition waking up. They're right above setting things up so that they're blatantly obvious. And they're right below being swallowed up. So there's a lot of tricks going on, yes, but it's being done with integrity. They are telling you truths. They just mix it in with some lies. Like, for instance, we did this mission on this day in this amount of hours, and look, we've already got this guy doing it. just things that should be very obvious. And so what they've done during this whole period is they've been saving people from being so distracted with their feelings and their daily lives and emotional triggers. They've actually been working to save people who were so distracted that they were being eaten and they didn't even know it. People just sat celebrating or getting up every day, working hard, maybe playing hard too, whatever, really caught up, dumping their emotions out on their heads, being silly, ridiculous, not aware, while they were being swallowed by something very big. And so we could call that the deep state, right? And so 17 has been working to transform that. There has been a war, a very passionate war with this King of Cups to what? To be able to pull these people with this Three of Cups out of the belly of the beast. And then you come across with this King of Swords. That king has high integrity, you guys, and they've been using advanced technology to battle this war. Okay? Because that's our swords, to stop people from being swallowed, to be able to pull people up out of the belly of the beast. And yeah, it's 17, our good guys, creating miracles with people, when you look at the Knight of Cups, with people that are willing and passionate enough to fight and be part of this, while using very high tech that maybe we don't even know about. So here we go with quite a bit of what's actually happening. Lot to be said here, right? And under it all, it's a baby. While all of this takes place in the way it's being rolled out, the star, 17, the good guys with all this integrity, are nurturing a baby that's very close to being born. Because if you look at this, she's popped right out there. She shows quite a bit. So I'm just going to lay a couple of cards off of here to continue the story, you guys. And then I might just do a downward conversation depending on what we get. So right now, what you're being distracted from is something's being set up like really damn close to popping. And that is also part of taking us out of the belly of the beast, you guys. Because this 3 diagonally goes up to the 3 of Cups. So 3 plus 3 is 6. Something new being birthed, reiterated twice here, right? Something big being birthed, getting ready to, it's being set up. It's nearly there. And it will take us out of the belly of the beast that has literally been swallowing us. And so rejoice, rejoice. Okay, you guys? So let's take a look. The belly of the beast that most people don't even realize is a beast. So let's take a look with a couple more cards. And I don't know if I said this. I just want to make sure I'm reading this whole thing to you as I see it. When you go diagonally from the Queen of Swords, which is telling you very straight up truths, but has overlaid it with lies to manipulate it. And as we know, it's in timelines, right? This is diagonally up to that 3 as well. So some of these lies that are out there aren't just to wake us up, make us see that something's askew or whatever, but it would also be to impact the beast, right? So some of these lies, some of the non-truths that are being put out there, it's also to confuse the beast. All right? It's also to confuse the beast. Like they're using the devil's own tricks against the beast. So now that I think I've read you every single thing in this layout. Because I've given you the pathway, and the ultimate pathway at the top is to save us is to pull us out of that belly of the beast, right? And to wake people up and get people noticing things a little better. That's the ultimate goal on this pathway. And, to pull us out of the belly of the beast and to get this new thing, this baby, full bore. And, it's literally a war over it. It's literally a war over it. And so lies have to be told, but they're being told with integrity. And a lot of these lies don't just distract people, but also distract the beast. Okay, you guys, so let's go on. So I'm just going to pull a couple more cards. And we'll get the rest of the story here. Okay? Still snowing. It's very pretty. The sky is starting to get that blue hue instead of that dark. We're starting to come into some light. All right, so I've been on here about an hour. I think this is going to be a little more than an hour. We'll see. We'll see. It might not need to be, but we'll see. All right. So the Hanged Man page. All right. Now we're getting somewhere. It's the money system. So it would look to me, and we did get a lot of the information last week, was it? We had like 2 or 3 readings last week and the week before around the money system, around the finances, the earthly pleasures. So we got the underneath of the story, okay? And so now what we're getting is the above layer of what's actually happening. So we have the Hanged Man here. So yes, we are in limbo. And the Hanged Man is overlapping the King of Swords and the Queen of Swords. Swords are technology. So we are going through a bit of limbo with some technology, okay? But it's okay because in the limbo card with the Hanged Man, big picture, they're in limbo to create a perfect balance. So working to create a perfect balance with the shape of this 4 here. And there's a clock hanging off his shoe. So there's perfect timing in this, and it'll come in perfect timing. And in the meantime, we're being enlightened on, because what is it? What does the Hangman cover? It covers the lies as well. So technology is in limbo right now, but it's okay. It's all in perfect timing. More work is going into it, which makes sense with this 3 still nurturing that baby. And in the meantime, we're being enlightened on the tricks, which is right beside the hangman, the lies, right? And the beast. We're being enlightened on the beast. And the hangman also overlaps the star. So we're also being enlightened on this group of people that are actually working on our behalf. So there's enlightenment happening all across the board here. So these delays, these manipulations, all of this stuff is really serving a multiple layers of purpose. And then, so you come over from the hanged man, where we're in limbo right now. But what covers it is the page of swords. So we're in limbo right now, but the page of swords shows up, more swords. So swords is technology, okay? The page is of fresh energy. It's very passionate. He's got his little red shoes on, his red cape. He's got a lot of red on, very well grounded. So this technology, this energy is coming in, being very well grounded. It's opening things up so you can see it and know it. So intuition. So as we sit in this time of limbo, the technology is being grounded in, okay? So the technology would be being grounded in, balanced, because the hangman works to create that balance. And it's opening people up so that they can see clearly the beast and know clearly the beast. So a lot of people are coming to the front, and it's lifting a passion in ordinary people that maybe they're willing to fight for what? A better and bloomed journey, because this page of swords covers that as well. Okay? And then the page of swords also covers the star, which is underneath this card. So waking people up more to, they're able to clearly see what the good guys are doing. So maybe they're clearly seeing now that the mission that was done the other day couldn't possibly make sense. So this is multi-layered, you guys, but a lot's going on with our technology in this as well. So as this page also touches this 3 where something new is blooming, the other thing that, because there's multiple messages here, right? The other thing that's happening is there is still fresh technology going into it. So something fresh, or ego, words, thoughts, something fresh had to happen with this 3. That baby that's being bloomed, something fresh had to happen there. So something fresh has happened there. So that's amplified that growth already. Whatever the fresh thing is that happened in a soldier type way has amplified this baby being able to be birthed. Okay? So then we come down and we have this 5, great change taking place over chaos. So, but something birthing in the background, right? Now we're talking about war, we're talking about soldiers, we're talking about good military, the good guys, the white hats. Over the top we have the 5 of rods, which is like fighting, okay? But something has bloomed back here and it's sitting right on top of our star. So I would say something about this false narrative about when the Maduro mission actually took place, the false narrative, because the fighting, the soldiers, right, are right beside the tipped sword with this with the straight sword, which is the truth of the lies. So something about that has to do with our birthing this baby that will be better for humanity. And it looks like it's really multifaceted, and it's also going to play into this financial system that has been in limbo for quite some time. And I say that because as we come down from the limbo card, now we have the Four of Pentacles, which is our earthly pleasures. The Four is the work to create some balance, to create a better way of being. In the midst of this Four energy, you have the King here who's hoarding all the money, all the gold, while people kind of go crazy in the background. So there's something big around the fighting that we've just been lied about. So I'm going to say it's the Maduro stuff that is going to impact our financial system. The new one that's been the baby to be birthed, that would be the baby that's being nurtured and ready to be birthed, that's been in limbo, that will be brought to you in perfect timing, it says. So Maduro had, what happened in Venezuela has a lot to do with this, being able to change the beast, the financial beast system, that's been tricking us and swallowing us all of these years. So there's something very valuable in this false narrative of the fighting that will actually help bring in the baby when it comes to this financial system, you guys. And then across from across from the Four of Pentacles, the money, the earthly pleasures card, we have the two, the dark and the light. The dark and the light. So, and that dark versus the light, bringing the balance in, that covers that new baby that's being born. So there was apparently some darkness, even though this mission may have happened a long time ago, there was still darkness that needed to be taken out of the picture. Things had to come into completion in this narrative, this whole Venezuela, this whole Maduro thing, in order to bring us down here, that's covering this finance. So there was still some darkness in there. And so I would say there's still some stuff. The darkness could have been, who knows, it could have been minions. It could have been, it could have just been that there were assets there, because there's this, the hoarding. So it could have just been that there were assets there that had been hoarded that don't belong to them, to whoever was hoarding it, and needed to be taken or extracted to create a fair and even. This is our earthly pleasures, right? So it's the Two of Pentacles, to create a fair and even, because with this card, things are imbalanced, and the work with the two is to balance them out perfectly. So the haves and the have-nots, something big had to go on there. There was something there to this that has to do with earthly pleasures and an unfairness and needing to tweak this. And it could be just tweaking with words, because this is the swords, words, deals. And again, like with this Hanged Man, the perfect timing. But something had to be tweaked from these people that hold all of this wealth, all of this power, and we're keeping it from the have-nots. So there was some sort of a deal to bring in that balance. And apparently, because this balance with this earthly pleasure stuff is sitting right on top of the 8, if we look to see how things just aren't adding up, because with the 8, those cups aren't stacked right. And so if we look to see how things just weren't really adding up, we would be able to find the what it is within that structure of earthly pleasures that was being hoarded, that a deal needed to be created for, that would help birth this new thing that will give us a better life and save us from the belly of the beast in our financial system, which has integrity and is higher vibrational. So that's what I'm getting, you guys. How long have I been on here? So there's something very significant, not only when it comes to what we will find out about the falling of a nation and the infiltration of this nation and other nations, and the Smartmatic machines and the cartels and the politicians and all that stuff that we've been told about prior to today. But there's something very significant in Venezuela, that mission, that extraction, and the news that will come out, and some negotiation possibly, or maybe some technology that was held there that is of value. Technology could be being held there that was of value, that possibly wasn't theirs, taken, hoarded, however you want to look at it. But there's something else to this whole Venezuela thing, you guys, because we've got this fighting that we're being shown, the warring that isn't absolutely accurate. It happened in the background, but there's something to this that is going to help balance out this financial system. So there's another layer to this whole Venezuela thing, and it's deeply rooted in our financial structure as well. And so this is just multi-layered, you guys. That's what I'm getting. It's just what I'm getting. And the tricks that we're being presented with, and the dishonesty that we're being presented with, it really is being done with integrity to save us from, to help humanity not be swallowed and pull us out of the belly of the beast. And something really nice is passionately being fought to be birthed here. And that's what I'm getting, you guys, and it's very interesting. And so I would say there's stuff around the financial system, and I'm going to say that would be that financial system that has humanity's best interest at heart, because it's pulling us out of the belly of the beast. And the old system is the beast system, right? It's the debt slave system. So have I delivered the message today the way you would have liked me to the best of my ability anyways, via the cards? Have I done a good job telling the story that you presented us with today? Please and thank you. And, you know, that, I want to remind everybody, that system is very close to being opened up and birthed, because she's very, very pregnant. And those 3 rods are very, very close to being at their peak, right? And she was lined up with that other 3, so that's that another 6 birthing more new things. So it looks like this is it's getting very close. That's what I'm getting. I'm not trying to get everybody's hopes up or anything. Don't live today as if it's already, don't go spend your last dime. Be discerning, but stay very grounded in logic. But I'm getting that we're getting very close here. So, in Venezuela, these false narratives of these wars, and whatnot, they're part of what's getting us closer to this happening. So let's just get that last card there for confirmation. One more shuffle and I'll cut them. And then, I don't know, 2 more shuffles. It just feels right. We'll cut them now. I'll get a sip of my chicory. And the Queen of Cups. So yes, I got that right. With the Queen of Cups, her cup runneth over. Okay? And her cup is so runneth over, and she is like, she knows it. Like she's not a pessimist. She's carrying that cup very carefully. And she's catching what runs over, right? She's very aware of how fortunate she is. So, and she feels great gratitude for that, with that Queen of Cups. So the Queen of Cups would be yes, Lorri, you did a good job delivering what we were bringing forth. And the secondary message to that would be, rejoice, feel your cup runneth over, feel your blessings, really be in the attitude of gratitude. These are very interesting times that we're living through. Great change is happening here. And, rather than getting caught up in the chaos of the energy of that 5 and whatnot, just really work to stay in the attitude of gratitude. This is an abundant time coming forward that will make it easier for everybody. That's what I'm getting. That's just what I'm getting. Take from it what you will and toss the rest. Okay? And let's see what happens. So, with all of that being said, with the information that we've been given, the story that you just told us, in-depth reasons as to, they explained why everything's unfolding in the way that it is. So with the story we've been given, the energy as it stands now, with the information we've received, is there with one card, one last message as we close off this reading, please and thank you. So one last message from you, please and thank you. Insight, clarity, advice. All right, so they're leaving us with that 8 of Cups, okay? So the 8 of Cups as insight, clarity, advice. We're being told right now, don't get triggered. Don't get emotional and feel like, I'm emotional and I can't look at this. No, don't get triggered. Allow your intuition to pop up. They're saying turn around and look. And if we look, we'll see all of these things that don't quite add up. And we'll intuitively be able to discern and know for ourselves. Okay? And stay well grounded. She's all dressed in red, and red is our root chakra, and that's a very grounding color. Stay very grounded, stay very connected to your intuition, and go ahead and turn around. Don't allow the emotional trigger, but go ahead and turn around and examine things, and you'll see that they don't add up, and you should be able to follow the trail that would confirm some of the things we've been told today. And, you know, with that 8, that is our infinity number that goes on and on and on. That's abundance. Okay. So that's another hint at a more abundant life. Start feeling abundant. Be in the attitude of gratitude. Stay connected into source energy. Don't allow yourself to be triggered. Stay well grounded. Be intuitive. Keep waking that crown up. But turn around and look at things without the emotional attachment. And you should be able to see that things, how they're being presented, don't add up, which would give you the trail to be able to make sense of the story that we just received. Okay? All right, you guys, I love you all very much. It is now 7 a.m. here, and I've been on for a little while. It is now light and beautiful. It's still snowing, but a cloud just went up by. But I don't think that you guys can see it now because the lighting is wrong. The lighting is just wrong, I think, for you guys to see it. But anyway, I love you all very much. I hope you found a little value in this today. Have a beautiful and amazing day. Stay high vibing, stay joyful, stay in the love vibration. Keep pulling light, opening up your gifts, and keeping your vibrations high. Until next time, you guys, I love you all. Have a beautiful day. Bye.